how different was it on the field with the XFL guys versus the NFL? Because you played at a high level at West Virginia. Was that East Coast Conference then? Is that what you guys were in?
Big East.
Big East.
So
That's what it is.
I spent 3 years in the Big East.
Okay.
3 years in the Big East and then 2 years in the Big 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you played against highly competitive, highly skilled guys on the other side of the ball.
Absolutely.
And then you went to the NFL. That was probably a huge jump.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
assuming.
Absolutely.
Right? So then converting from the NFL to play in the XFL, what was that difference? Between skill, between pace, speed?
So I would say the biggest difference for me, and it's kind of like this along like just football in general. Usually your skill players, so like your wide receivers, running backs, cornerbacks, safeties, all those guys.
You didn't say quarterback.
Yeah, quarterback. I can't name quarterbacks. Quarterbacks will be in the other list. But those guys usually they are kind of like one and the same. So you may have a 6'2", 210-pound wide receiver that runs a
4.4,
4.3. He just doesn't have the technical teach. He hasn't learned yet the techniques and things like that to make him into that top wide receiver. But you may have some guys that maybe that same size or maybe slower. In the NFL, those guys that are that size, all of them were a state champion. All of them, like I didn't win a state championship, but we're talking about the best guys from their hometown. So if you take literally every guy from even practice squad guys, they're the best player on their team more times than not.
And those teams won championships.
But like out of their whole conference and whole league. In the XFL, you still have those same caliber of guys. It's just that now you have the guys that may not have gotten the same chance as the guys may have not gotten the same chance to play on the field as the guys that have played, in the NFL. And when we talk about like linemen and quarterbacks, it's really there's so much there's so many small details,
like the nuance of the game.
Yeah, that go into playing offensive line and defensive line, and we'll get into that in a little bit when I talk about coaching my 7th grade team. But there's little details and little things where it's just like hand placement, pad level, quarterbacks, footwork, being able to read defenses, and knowing what's coming and just having a feel and a vibe and things like that. Your quarterback coach or your lineman coach, that goes a very long way as well. It's a lot of time. It's almost like working out. So a lot of people will feel like, okay, I can work out for 4 weeks, I changed my body, I'm good. But really, a lot of changes come over time. You'll see people maybe on social media or some of these trainers, fad trainers or just trainers in general, their bodies are like, oh man, their body looks amazing. But this is maybe like 5-10 years of them training. The program that they're selling you is what they just recently have been doing. But they've been doing this since 2010, when they first started. So I think that's the biggest disconnect, I would say.